Life is fleeting, and that is true even in a sport defined by endurance, the will to push forward over time and distance. Kenyan runner Eliud Kipchoge is widely considered the greatest marathon runner in history, dominating the sport for the last decade. He set the marathon world record twice, won Olympic gold medals twice, and won 4 of the world's 6 major marathons. A star so bright he could never be eclipsed. Until Kelvin Kiptum appeared like a comet in running shoes.
This is a phenomenal run. This is one of the fastest marathons of all time. It's a debut, and he's going to be inside 2 hours and 2 minutes. 23-year-old Kenyan. Look out for this name. It is here to last a few years. Kelvin Kiptum is the winner of the 2022 Trinidad Alfonso Valencia Marathon. Wow.
In Spain, in his first marathon, Kiptum set the course record. Then he ran in London and set the course record there too. The whispers of potential historic feats became legitimate questions. A reporter asked if he could break Kipchoge's world record time.
Now you know that you can get there. Is that something you're thinking about maybe for the next marathon you run, maybe breaking the world record?
No, maybe the next coming 2 years, 3.
Kiptum's next race would be the 2023 Chicago Marathon.
When I shoot races, I love it when it's stormy and muddy and yucky. And
61-year-old Kevin Morris is the Chicago Marathon's official photographer.
I'm standing on the overpass on Balboa Avenue.
On a snowy spring evening during his first trip back to the city since the race, we walked the same route from the finish line to the champion's portrait location on the Balboa Avenue overpass.
I always wear my hat backwards when I shoot. Otherwise, it's in the way.
Morris reflected on photographing what became a race for the ages.
Every year, I bring the winners, the male winner, the female winner, to this spot. It was truly unbelievable what he had accomplished that day. And to take the walk with him from the finish line to here, I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
When did you know that the world record might be in jeopardy?
To tell you the truth, I'm clueless on course.
His focus is on telling a story with his photos, finding backdrops that set the grace of the runner against the grittiness of the city.
I want to show the place as much as the race itself. I think they both tell the story. I was able to get some really beautiful backgrounds behind him that weren't pretty so much as they were
Gritty.
workmanlike. They were a little gritty.
But by mile 21, somewhere around Chinatown, Morris noticed Kiptum was moving in a way that seemed otherworldly.
The physicality of his running was so unlike anything I'd ever seen.
Can you put that into words? Describe how it was different from the other runners on the course.
I could say he was floating.
And he just looked like he was in command and in control and relaxed and aware of where he was.
Race director Carrie Pinkowski was monitoring the runners and could see that Kiptum wasn't simply competing against the other athletes. He was in a race against history.
He was on a mission with himself and the history books and the clock. And so when I started to get the splits at 21, 22, and I realized he was 15, 18, 20, 30 seconds under the record, that's where it became a reality.
So I'm running with my camera gear that last quarter mile to get to the finish line in time for him to arrive. And when I got there, I had a second camera on a small tripod that I laid down on the ground.
Morris set up a remote camera angled upward to capture the crossing, complete with the clock.
And I set up in the perfect spot and was perfectly ready for him. And as he was crossing the finish line, soon after he was crossing the finish line, the race director walked right across.
Kiptum shattered the world record by more than half a minute, running 26.2 miles in just 2 hours and 35 seconds.
I think he was emotionally spent.
The new world record holder leapt into Pinkowski's open arms.
It was something that just happened. He just kind of relaxed, and I held him up and I said, "You're the world record holder now. You brought this record back to Chicago."
the elation wouldn't last. 4 months later, on February 11th, at the age of 24, Kiptum was killed in a horrific car accident in rural Kenya.
It was hard to believe, hard to process. I'd gotten a call from Kenya, and they were aware that there was an accident and that Kelvin and his coach were killed at the scene.
Kiptum's story is now one of unrealized potential. He came so close to breaking the sport's mythical barrier, the sub-2-hour marathon, and now will never have the chance.
It's just not right that he's no longer here to carry forward with what he had started.
Kelvin was special. He was the best I've ever seen, the best I've ever worked with.
Oh, he's gonna crush the world record time! Look at that! My goodness! Oh, we did it in Chicago!
There is also the cruel irony of a long-distance runner whose life covered only the short distance of 24 years, an endurance athlete whose memory is what lasts in the images of his brilliance.
It's only in retrospect that we know the images you captured are the final lasting images of Kelvin Kiptum.
I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to capture him in his last race. Obviously at the time I had no idea. I expected 20 years of brilliance.
His finest moment will forever be linked to this city and to your photos.
You're right. This will always be the site of his last great victory.
In downtown Chicago, Mike Lowe, WGN News.
Astounding. Kiptum's next race would have been the Rotterdam Marathon, which happened yesterday. Runners and fans observed the moment of silence in his memory. Many runners also wore a black ribbon in his honor.